Hello crafters, this is Mary Prasad, Artist in Residence for Imagine Crafts. In this video, I'll show you how to create subtle texture and shine in selective areas of decorative papers using a VersaMarker with embossing powders. I'll also show you how to use the VersaMarker through a stencil and how to give die cuts a 3D look using Radiant Neon Amplify. For this project, you'll need the following supplies listed on the screen. The VersaMarker is going to let you selectively highlight areas of your decorative paper for embossing with either clear or sparkle embossing powder. Here's my sample sheet. I did the right side with the sparkle embossing powder and the left side with the clear. I decided to use the clear for the decorative paper, and I'll save the sparkle to use through the stencil later. I'm going to use the bottom section of this stencil for decorative elements on my label. Here's my samples. I like the left one with the sparkle. Start with a piece of decorative paper. On this sheet, I decided to decorate the hydrangea petals. You'll notice the VersaMarker has two ends, one with a bullet nib and one with a brush tip. I'm going to be using the brush tip to decorate this paper. Look over your design and decide what areas you would like to highlight. In the end, I think I went a little overboard on this one. Sometimes less is more. Trace over the petals you want to highlight. It's going to be hard to see, so work in small sections. Now I'm going to add the clear embossing powder. I should have first put a scrap sheet under this. You'll see me do this in a moment. The scrap sheet will catch any of the excess so you can pour it back into the bottle more easily. Be sure to warm up your heat tool for a few moments before applying it to the paper. This will help prevent warping. As you apply heat to the embossing powder, make sure you keep the heat tool moving so it doesn't burn. You can leave it like this, or you can apply a second layer. I like a thicker layer, so I'm going to apply some more, and then I'm going to move on to another section. You may notice that the clear embossing powder does turn the paper a little darker. In most cases, this looks really nice. Sometimes on the white areas it turns it a little bit gray, but it doesn't look as gray in person. Continue this process until you have the coverage you desire. Now I'm going to add a couple decorative elements to the corners of this label. I put on the sentiment die cuts just to see where they line up. Line up the stencil design where you'd like it. And this time we're going to use the bullet end, the smaller end of the VersaMarker, to draw through the stencil. This time I'm using the sparkle embossing powder with glitter in it. I made the mistake of forgetting to use my powder tool before applying the embossing powder. Next time you'll see me use it, but in this case I'm just going to use a brush to remove any of the extra embossing powder. I love the sparkly detail this adds to the corner of the label. This time I remembered to use my anti-static or powder tool before embossing. Notice how much cleaner the embossing powder comes off. Now I'm going to apply some white Radiant Neon Amplify to my sentiment. I'm going to use some post-it labeling tape to hold my sentiment as I work on it. Be sure to shake the bottle before using it. Try to keep the liquid on the die cuts. It'll make it a lot easier to remove them later. Wipe the nozzle with a paper towel before replacing the cap. Remember to warm up the heat tool a little bit before applying the heat. Keep the heat tool moving and turn the paper so that you can apply the heat evenly over the whole die cut. Check out all the fun dimension this gives. For assembly instructions for the rest of the card, please visit artbymdp.blogspot.com. For more ideas and inspiration, please visit imaginecrafts.com. Thanks and have a great day.